Hello everyone, welcome back to the Gaming Droid, and welcome back to a modern Skyblock 3 here on Gaming Droid. So, I've actually turned off my loot bag opener because, well, I'm getting so much stuff that at the moment it's actually quite difficult to keep up with just keeping this thing from overflowing. So I've turned it off for a while. We've got enough stuff that we can do what we want. So the first thing I wanted to do in this episode was upgrade my combustion chamber. So I want to upgrade my combustion chamber, which means we need frozen iron, which we make in the freezer. I did that in between episodes because it takes a long time to cook, or a long time to freeze, I suppose. I also, between episodes, made a bit more glowstone, so there's frozen. We need the electrum heating element, which is fine, and then the electrum combustion chamber. And we should be able to just pop this one out of the end stone, pop this one in. And the problem we have now is we need to power it. Now that shouldn't be a massive problem, because we should have some terracotta around here somewhere. We have some terracotta, we have some clay, we have some copper. So we should be able to make a low voltage wire connectors. The reason I'm using low voltage at the moment is low voltage carries up to 256. Oh, actually, this is going to be a slight challenge. I'm actually going to have to use a wire relay as well. That's okay, because we do have two wires. And the reason I'm going to have to use a wire relay is I can't actually get up to there from here, because it'll have to travel through a block. So I'm going to have to go like this to get out from under there and then travel up to this block. Oop, no, careful. The hover is not the easiest thing in the world to control. But there we go. Now that's powered up with RF, and it will slowly get a backlog of RF and heat up. So that is essentially infinite, which is great. We've got now a kind of endless source of that. Frozen iron, excellent. And we've got some more connectors if we do want to do a little bit more. Our armor's doing fine. We haven't taken any knocks to the armor yet. So one thing I do want to do is get a bit of... So, 30. And then I need cobblestone. So it's 8 to 3, so I need to put in 80 cobblestone for every 30 blaze. So that's 60. That's 80. That's 60. And that's 80. And then that's 2 sets of 30. So if we head over to our combustion chamber and go like that. Yeah. Ooh, that's quick. That's very quick. I approve of that quite a lot. That's not bad at all. 80, and we can do another 30. There. I made a mistake and put in the wrong numbers, because I put in some stuff that I wasn't supposed to put in. 20 and then 30. And actually, there we go. So we've got a nice big stack of netherrack. The reason I wanted to make some netherrack was I'm going to be needing some nether quartz soon. And nether quartz comes from netherrack, would you believe? So I did want to work on the quest chain for chaos, because this is actually going to get me... I wanted to work on it for flight, but now I want to work on it for teleportation, which will mean making some endstone, and that's why I needed the nether quartz, but endstone shouldn't be too bad. So we want to have a look at pylons. So first things first, we want to make a passive pylon, which requires us to make 1, 2, 3 more of those, and a core, which is just a block of quartz, which I should have enough quartz for. Yeah, I do get quartz out of the loot bags. It's just very, very little quartz. The amount of quartz you get out of the loot bags is absolutely tiny. So it can be a bit of a struggle sometimes to get enough quartz together. I have blocks of quartz, game. There we go. I'm slightly confused why that got confused for a bit, but okay. So the passive pylon, if we put it down, it zaps us with chaos over time, and that just charges up our chaos meter, which is what we use for all of the chaos simple gems magic, things like shooting fireballs from simple gem swords, teleporting, simple gem flight, the buffs you get from simple gems, things like that. But it's very, very slow. What you can do, and what the quest wants you to do, is upgrade to this one. But the problem is we don't have enough chaos. We actually need more chaos, and I ground up 4 stacks of compressed cobblestone, or compressed stone, sorry, to get the chaos I got. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at something slightly different. We're going to skip ahead slightly in the quests. Let's try that again. At silent. There we go. So what we're going to make is we're going to make the chaos altar, which actually we need more chaos for anyway. God damn, this requires a lot of chaos. Okay, well, I will have to hunt down some additional chaos because we don't have enough chaos for that, unfortunately. I thought I had enough chaos, but it needs so many of those chaos cores. Oh no, that just uses 1 enriched chaos. So actually we do have enough chaos to make it, just not enough chaos to use it. We need 1 more chaos to do the thing I want to do with it. Let's make... Yeah, it is enriched chaos. Just double checking to make sure I wasn't wasting my chaos. We also get obsidian as well from the packs. So from the loot bags. So this is now going to charge this up with chaos once it's charged me. And if we have a bit of chaos ore, then we can actually use that to replicate chaos ore over time. So that's what I'm going to try and get together now. So Shift K, that gives us 21. It's not too bad. I've already done stacks of this, and I got 16 chaos ore from doing 3 stacks. So we will, fingers crossed, have everything we need. I don't care about iron anymore. I have more than enough iron. In fact, I have, I think, 40 diamonds from my loot bags as well. Loot bags in this game are somewhat broken, just because of the sheer amount of good stuff you can get from them. We got 3 dirty chaos there. That's actually a better return on chaos than I got from any other grinding. So that's quite good. Glad I did that on camera, otherwise people would have accused me of cheating in chaos. Which people can accuse me of anyway, but still. So what we're going to do now is if we have a look at the uses of chaos and we have a look at the uses in the chaos altar itself. No, we don't have to look at the uses of chaos, we have to look at the uses of chaos shards in the chaos altar themselves. 4 shards become 1 chaos using a diamond catalyst. Now it doesn't actually use up the catalyst just has to be there. So the advantage we have with that is we have diamonds in here. We can throw a diamond in there. It's not going to use the diamond up. So we're not trading diamonds for chaos. And it will turn that from 3 chaos into 6 chaos and 3 spare chaos gems. And it's not going to be fast. The single pylon is going to mean it's going to be very slow. But it's going to produce us a constant slow supply of chaos, which is something that's going to make it a lot easier to complete these quests. So we could do the whole ender tanks. The ender tanks are actually quite good. They do store quite a few buckets of whatever we're using. And ender tanks might be useful in the long run to basically make this setup, because this setup at the moment is very compact. We don't have many pipes. We don't have many ways of transporting liquid. But what I could do is I could have, say, 2 canola presses feeding off this chest, one at the front and one at the back, making oil. And then I could have these over here with an ender tank feeding out into them using a ender tank and a set of fluid extractors from Factory Tech. Because that's all we have at the moment. We don't even have actually additions lasers, so we're very limited with that. Ender tanks might be useful. So we'll clean up those quests, I think. If we can clean up those quests, I think we can. We'll need some end rods, but that's fine because end rods are accessible via molten cores. And we have the obsidian, So let's see if we can make... We just need some end rods and some wool. That's not a problem. Wool. End rods. And I can also get end rods in the nether because I do have a functional nether farm. So let's go 1 tank and 1 bucket. That's 2 quests. And then we have the Enderlink chest and the Enderlink bag, which should be somewhere around here. Enderlink chest. Okay. Let's make some Eyes of Ender. These are, I think, actually the equivalent of our early game pipes now. These are going to end up being the equivalent of like early game piping, just because of what we need early game. And if you're concerned that these require you to build the white ones, don't be. My partner actually did this without building the white ones. She built coloured ones. She built purple, and it detected the quest. So although it doesn't show the alternate colours up there, it does actually or dictionary with them. Okay, rubbish. Item, question mark, placeholder, status unknown. Okay. So, rainbow rune, unknown item, those, and... Oh, it's a candy club. Okay. So that unknown item was actually a candy club. Let's put the other stuff in there. Now, I could expand this chest, which might not be a bad idea, is working through these. I'll do this off screen, because it's literally just me making tons of silver, and then using that silver to make a bunch of chests, chest walls and things, and then upgrading that chest. And same with that, it's just gold. Gold is really easy to get hold of. First off, I can use my end farm to make it, but also the gold alchemical dust. This stuff is just wheat and glowstone, and that's not a problem for me at the moment. The diamond chest I won't be able to make because I'll need a lot of diamonds. I should have gotten some dirty diamond though. Let's have a look how many dirty diamond I got. I got 59 dirty diamonds. I might actually be able to make the chest then if I can include the diamonds in my chest from opening all the loot bags. Interesting. So we'll have a look at that later. But as far as sort of progress goes, we do want to go through here and we do want to get the phantoms and the teleporting around. I want to make energizers and innovators, because the energizer and the innovator will allow me to charge a nice little thing I got from a loot bag. And so energizer, which should be pretty simple to make. We just need another one of these gold coils and one of these, which we need sticks for. So iron casing, 2 gold coils, nice and cheap. And there's the energizer, which we will lay down there for now, so that it can draw off the same power network as that. And the innovator is basically the opposite. It takes power away rather than putting power in. And the Actually Edition stuff is reasonably simple to make in this mod pack. I've played mod packs where they change up the recipes for the Actually Edition stuff, and it's actually much harder to deal with. But in this one, it's reasonably easy. So we will need to make some copper cable. But that should not be difficult at all. We just need our engineer's hammer and our shears. I did make the engineer's snips, wire snips, but they disappeared the moment I used them. So I used them once and they disappeared rather than taking durability damage. I don't know if that's some kind of bug or if he actually intended that to be the situation. I don't think he intended that to be the situation, but you never know. Mod makers be crazy. So in one of my loot bags, I got hold of a Staff of Travelling, which is another way, as well as our jetpack, that we can use to move around very quickly. Or not our jetpack, our hover armor chestplate. So now that we have a Staff of Travelling, we should be able to teleport around really quickly and easily. That's been gathering me iron and copper. Oh! And if I teleport straight up, I start hovering straight away. Oh, that's wonderful. So now this is a really, really good way of me travelling around. I don't even need to carry the Angelic Feather anymore because I can't fall. I can't take fall damage because I can't fall. That's really good. That's really very good indeed. So we'll think about how we're going to use these Enderlink items to enhance our platform in between episodes. But now I have completed that, which is good. We get a loot bag for it, a loot box for it, which is just devil horns and devil tail. Those are unstackable, so they can go in here. The ranged collector is very useful, and we can actually complete this quest quite easily because we've done the auto placer and auto fluid placer. So let's do actually additions. Let's complete that quest. So these items from actually additions help with a lot of the automation. They're very, very simple to make. They just require stone and coils. The precision dropper is a little bit more expensive, but the precision dropper also isn't a problem. The precision dropper works very similar to a dropper, but instead of shooting the items out with a bit of randomness, the precision dropper places items literally in the block in front of it, in the center, and just lets them drop down, which is very, very convenient, a very, very simple and easy way of doing it. And then we need a fluid collector, which means we need a fluid placer. So we need to get a fluid placer. Oh no, sorry, an auto placer. Is it? Oh no, it's the auto breaker that becomes the fluid collector. There we go. And we got item placeholders again. Fair enough. I'm just going to throw these off the edge again because they are... So this is a beta version. I updated to the beta version because of Britannia being broken. Didn't fix Britannia and broke a few other things as well. But, oh well. These things happen. But that did complete these two quests over here, so... Screw it. Ooh, we got a Supremium watering can and a pitcher plant. Nice. Well, that's an upgrade for my current watering can, so I can put my current watering can away. That is a really nice upgrade. And the pitcher plant can be useful at times. So the precision dropper, the fluid collectors, the fluid placers and things are all used for automating pretty much anything you want. You can automate water gathering for farms and things like that, but you can also use them to automate these. The precision dropper can be used to automate upgrading the oils. So there's a lot of interesting things you can do with those. We're kind of stopped on some true magic. Life in the forest we can start. We've got heavy machinery to be getting on with as well. So, we did the cables, low voltage cables and things. Ooh, a Faraday cage. That makes us immune to electricity. And a chest upgrade tool. I'll actually put that on me because I'm thinking of upgrading the chest later. The Faraday armor, it's not as good as my current armor. I have enough health that I'm not going to worry about walking into the cables. So let's have a look at making some of these things from Immersive Engineering. It needs us to make blast brick. What do we need for blast brick? Blast brick requires nether brick, bricks, and blaze powder. Well, that shouldn't actually be a problem. So let's figure out how many we need. We need to make 3, 6, 9. We need to make 9 of this recipe, so 9 times 14. So 9 times 4, sorry. There you go. So we need that many. $36. There we go. And those will cook up really quickly. The clay is going to be even less of a problem because we have our rod and we have our... We don't have our water placer. Where did I put my water placer? Well, that's mildly frustrating. I've kind of lost my water placer. Oops. I put my water placer down somewhere and I don't know where I put it. Help me, guys. Oh, smegity. Let's do compressed. This. Let's make you. No, come on. Land. Ooh, that can be a little bit fiddly. So we need some basic bricks, which we can get from basic clay, which we can get if we actually get our band of mana out. And we can start working on blast bricks, which will get us steel. Sorry, not Ender. Immersive Engineering does have its own item transportation in it, but I don't really see me using that item transportation. There we go. I don't see me using the item transportation from Immersive Engineering just because you can actually accidentally pick up items. I should have some in here. So blast brick. Blast bricks. And that was far more than we needed. So we actually had some of that already, but well. It's not the end of the world that we made a few additional blast bricks. Now this is actually quite awesome that the new version of the game has the new version of Megaloots and I can fly. I'm sorry, I know I'm talking about my flight a lot, but oh my god, I can fly. You can fly, you can fly! So let's grab some iron from our general materials chest. Stack of iron, that'll do. And throw that in there to become steel. So that's going to take a little bit of time. This is still ticking along slowly, ever so slowly, making chaos. And yeah, we're slowly kind of progressing along certain chains and certain lines. The engineer's workbench we can make pretty easily. We just need some of this. Some treated wood. This system also, or Immersive Engineering also allows you to make things like windmills and water wheels. The water wheels and windmills are reasonably good power gen, but at the same time, not super important. The water wheel is quite large and produces the same amount of power as a single oil generator, so it's not the most efficient way of doing things in many senses. Where's my workbench? There it is. One of you, and we can make one of you. There we go. And that gives us time to tinker, which is a pretty simple one. Experience droplets. Why not? Drink all the experience. Yum, yum, yum. So the next thing, it's things like cloches and things. For that, we need to get the patterns for the workbench. So we need to get these. Specifically, we need crafting components, which is... That's metal presses, that's arc furnaces. Crafting components is iron, aluminium, copper, 3 blue pigment, and 3 paper. Now, I might have aluminium already, but if I don't have aluminium, I will have to... Yeah, I'm missing aluminium. That's fine. So... Alchemical. Let's have a look what our aluminium one is. That's chrome, tungsten, titanium, tin, lithium, aluminium. We need enriched bone meal and blaze powder. That's not too hard. If we get one of these and one of these, we can make enriched bone meal and then blaze powder. There we go, that's cooking away nice and quick. Now, the patterns will allow us to make parts for things like the cloche. So the pattern we're looking for allows us to make up parts like the cloche. The other thing we can actually do as well is make things like the immersive engineering storage tank for fluids, which we might start doing, because the immersive engineering tanks can store a lot of fluid. How many sky crystals have we got? 300 crystals. So let's see what we get from one alchemical dust. A lot. There's the bar that's slowly emptying, and yeah, we're gonna get a lot of aluminium from that. A kind of crazy amount of aluminium. That's fine. And this will, when placed in here, allow us to make all of the assorted things like iron, steel, vacuum tubes, and circuit boards. And that allows us to make things like the cloche, which will... The cloches are very, very good growing tools. You need to provide them with water and power, but they do produce a lot of whatever you're trying to grow in them. So they can be reasonably efficient. The kinetic dynamo is used for water wheels and windmills. Can we make a kinetic dynamo? I wonder. Or do we need steel for the kinetic dynamo? I have a sneaky suspicion we need steel for the kinetic dynamo, which is why we paused that one. No, we don't. Okay, that's not a problem. We just need to get some copper and make some wire. I think we're running a little bit low on copper, but we shall see. There's 7 plates. Do we have any more copper up here? Nope, that's fine. We can go and get copper. Oh, how was that for well landed? And then we can make some wire coil. And that will allow us to make the kinetic dynamo, which is used with the water wheel or the windmill to provide power. So he wants us to make the water wheel and the windmill as well. So the water wheel is made with these water wheel segments. 1, 2, 3. We need 4 water wheel segments in all. And then we wrap them around a piece of steel to make the water wheel. So that's why we need steel from in here, so we can make the first water wheel. That's what was limiting me. Time for an upgrade! And that gets us the steel quest, which gets us a single box, which is void transport pipes. Actually not terrible. They're basically a transport pipe bin, bin that attaches directly to transport pipe systems, which isn't bad at all. And then the other thing it wants me to make is the windmill, I believe. Yeah, the full windmill. Water wheels generate a set amount of power determined by how much water is flowing over them. Windmills generate a set amount of power determined by the weather and how high they are. Or a variable amount of power, actually, but... There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the way the windmill works is it won't have... if I just pop it down temporarily, if I can find somewhere to pop it down over here on the edge of this. I should be able to just stick it to the wall, stick it to the side of this. Yeah, you'll see that the edges of it, like the walls of it, are not got any fabric on them, but in the image they do. That's because the fabric is hemp fabric, and you can actually make it and add it to the... You can actually add it to the windmill as an after, which isn't a bad idea. But at the moment, we're generating all of our power from canola. So for now, we'll leave that unconnected to the system. And actually, the next quest in that chain, which is using all the wind, requires us to make windmill sails, which requires the hemp I was just talking about. So we're just burning through these quests super fast. Better steel production. That requires quite a lot of iron, but that's not too much of a problem. Void core samples. That's so that we can find oil. Liquid concrete. The mixer allows you to mix certain fluids and items for making other fluids. Fair enough. So engineering blocks. Engineering blocks allow us to make the multi-block structures, things like the crusher. So by making steel scaffolding, engineering blocks, etc., we can make things like the crusher, which allows us to crush up ores for double ore. Let's grab some iron, some copper. Oh, I didn't actually pick up that copper. Copper. Where'd the copper go? Oh no, I did pick up that copper. So let's make ourselves 2 iron plates. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we go 2 iron and some copper. And that allows us to make 4 of those. Light engineering blocks, and then heavy engineering blocks I presume require, yeah, steel ones. So steel ones, we've got electrum, so we just need steel, which we've got. And what goes in the center? Is it still copper? Yeah, it's still copper. So again, instead of making 1 per 4 plates, we can make 1 per 2 plates using this. So we can actually do it without this if we want to. Oop, no, that's not what I want to do. You. And you. So it halves the amount of steel that we need to make those, which is quite good. And we actually need 4 steel as well. Dang it. That's fine, we've got 4 steel. And there we go, heavy engineering blocks as well. And that should complete that quest. Again, devil horns and devil tail. You seem to get them in rashes, like you seem to get multiples of the same thing over and over again for a while. And those will allow us to make some of the presses, plate presses and things like that. Which we're going to need as we progress through immersive engineering. If you guys haven't seen immersive engineering, there's a lot of big multi-structures. I mean, that's what the projections are for, is to allow for the large multi-structures. There's things like oil refineries, grinders, crushers, metal presses, lots of the big machinery stuff. But for now, I think we're doing actually really rather well. Databases store information on regular version of what you've analysed. Okay. So some of the missing items are missing from bees and some of them are missing from like minor mods like... So it's some of the add-on mods that have been messed up by the update. Okay, that's fine. I was hoping it would fix this, but it didn't. Maybe one day it will fix this. So, what I'm going to do in between episodes. In between episodes, I'm going to be expanding this grass platform out, ripping down this farming area, or this area for the farm, because it's not sort of where it wants to be. I'm going to grab a Silk Touch shovel and shovel up the grass and shovel up the mycelium, so I've still got that. That is a really interesting effect. So I'll shovel up the grass, I'll shovel up the mycelium, I'll shovel all that up. I'm going to be sorting this area out a little bit. This was going to be my teleportation hub, but I can't do that yet. And I will come back with everything a little bit more sorted, a little bit more tidy, and we will see where we're going from there. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a lot more nether quartz, or netherrack, sorry. I'm going to make a lot of netherrack, and I'm going to grind the netherrack up for... Oop. I'm going to grind the netherrack up for nether quartz, as that will give me a source of... netherrack will give me a source of nether quartz, which will allow me to make endstone, which will allow me to make the ender essence, hopefully, which will allow me to make the teleporters, because the only place you can get ender essence is from endstone. So, fingers crossed we can get some endstone ender essence and make the teleporters, because I do want the teleporters from this. The teleporters in this are kind of cool. Once we get enough chaos, we can make the chaos burner pylon, which will make this a lot faster. We have to feed it coal, but it'll make this a lot faster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this stuff to tick along, doing its own thing. I'm going to set up a few resource collection points and a few resource things. I'm going to do all of my sort of redesigning of this area and tidying up of this over here. And I will see you all in the next episode. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.